Or do you think it leads us to everyone looking like Thor? Like, where does that lead us to?
Yeah, but of course, Thor still had to go to the gym.
But what if there comes a point in time where that's not
the actor
necessary?
who plays Thor still had to go to the gym.
Right. Well, with things like biostatin inhibitors, you aware of those?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So if they incorporate that into the human genome, then you're going to have people that have incredible amounts of muscle mass, and they don't even have to do anything to achieve it.
But what you would have done was, as a parent or as someone in control, predetermine what they can or should be in life.
Right.
Whereas in a free world, in a free society, a person's own ambitions should be what guides them.
Certainly.
In my opinion. And I don't think that's a controversial opinion.
Certainly. I agree with you.
So,
but my concern is...
Yeah, it's a real concern. Oh,
and
yeah.
if the technology gets to the point where it's a uniform strategy and that people just start doing that to their children. We're talking 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now.
Way sooner than that. 50 years easily.
Where does this go?
Easily 50 years. Yeah, so you want to have the muscle-bound family, but suppose one of them wanted to be a ballet dancer and had to be a little more lanky and elegant.
What if we get to a point where genetic engineering could be utilized on fully formed adults? And you could change the shape of, like, there's people that are transgender. What if you could literally become a double X chromosome human being, and you will literally have a vagina, literally have breasts, ovulate, have a womb?
I don't know how that would. I have to think about how that would happen.
Well,
that'd be like an extreme limit of
an evolution of technology.
Your genomes. Yeah, so that's a really interesting, different world. It means you can be whoever you want.
Right.
That's what we are on Halloween, right? You're
what
wherever
are
you
your
want to be.
thoughts on human neural interfaces, like things like Neuralink and these technologies that are being proposed that would allow human beings to integrate with technology in a physical way, symbiotically?
Yeah, so I have a chapter in here called Exploration and Discovery, where we talk about the rapid pace of technology and its impact on civilization, which is extraordinary. But most predictions are wrong. You get it right in the first few years, and after a few decades...
Well, with new technology, new possibilities emerge that couldn't even be anticipated.
It comes in from the side, rather than...
Like the internet.
More of what... Correct. It reminds me of... there was an ad in 1992, 1993, early 90s from AT&T. They had a relatively successful ad campaign where they said, have you ever wanted to da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and they say some futuristic thing, and they say, you will, AT&T will bring it to you.
Yeah,
okay?
I've seen that.
One of the commercials was something I've never wanted to do, never dreamed of doing, never did, and never will do. They show a guy on a beach, okay? And he's working on a tablet, which was a good predictive thing. Tablets did come. He's looking at a tablet and said, have you, and there's a surf coming in. It was a beautiful beach scene. He said, have you ever wanted to send a fax from the beach? Well, you will. AT&T. It's like, no, thank you. No one has ever in the history of the universe wanted to do that.
But why wouldn't they if that was all that existed?
I'm just saying.
Well, now it's email. It's the same thing.
No, it's email attachment. Correct.
Sure.
But no, you don't see that coming if you're extolling the virtues of faxes.
Right.
That's like in Back to the Future Part 2, a film made in 1989. We're riding high on faxes, 89 to the early 90s. Do you know what year that took place? Was supposed to take place? Back to the Future 2.
It's like modern.
Yeah,
like,
2015.
Yeah.
Okay. So Marty pisses off his boss and he gets fired.
Yeah.
All right. So the boss communicates this via fax to his residents. Okay. Except this is the residents of the future. He has 3 fax machines in his home. So you see they come out on 3 different fax machines. And no matter what room he was in, he would see it. Because that's the home of the future.
Yeah.
Because a modern home in 1989 with 1 fax machine, many homes had no fax machines. So this is how we're linear thinking people.
Here's Marty. You're fired.
There. 3 different 4 fax machines.
That's the future.
There it is.
That's what they thought. Isn't that funny? Oh, no.
The future.
Wow.
And so I talk about here how we also have linear brains, which prevents us from seeing exponential change.
Yes.
And the best example of this is algae on a pond. Okay? So algae, as it grows and it floats on the pond, you see like 1 square foot of it. And you learn, someone tells you The algae is doubling every day. And you have this huge pond, and you're told this, okay? You go away for a month and come back, the pond is half covered with algae. You say, oh my gosh, I was away for a month and this happened. When will it be completely covered? So what's the answer? It took a month to get halfway. So how much more time?
A week?
No, a day. What did I say?
Doubles.
It doubles every day.
Yes.
That's how I started this conversation.
Yes.
See, the linear brain overrides even the stated facts.
And you know how they deal with that? They introduce carp.
Oh, good. I didn't know that.
And carp eat all the algae.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Very
but
good.
then the problem is they eat all the vegetation, and you get like Lake Austin.
Oh,
where there's
yeah, it's
almost
just
no
it's a
vegetation,
dead
and all the
lake.
bass have no place to hide.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Lake Austin looks like the bottom of a swimming pool now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Nothing there, too.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's you think you know all the causes and effects of things, and then you don't.
Well, when I was on the Big Island, when I found out about mongooses.
Big Island, Hawaii, yeah.
When I was there for the
Can we call them
Observatory.
mongoose? Is that allowed?
They're so adorable. We saw one at the resort, a mongoose, a cute little fella.
Wait, but Hawaii has no snakes. So what did the mongoose eat?
Unfortunately, they brought them in for rats, and they went after ground nesting birds, and so they've devastated local wildlife.
There it is.
Yeah, so
When you're an island in the middle of the Pacific, that stuff is pretty tightly configured.
Those little fellas are so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the mongooses found in Hawaii are native to India. Were introduced to Hawaiian Islands in 1883 by the sugar industry to control rats in sugarcane fields.
Any species in Hawaii is going to be invasive because they're like.
But then it gets to a point where people are making the argument that wild pigs are no longer invasive because they've been there as long as the humans have.
Yeah, so it's only a problem when it's a problem.
Yeah.
Is really what that comes down to.
Right.
I'm told that L.A. palm trees are not native.
Right, they're not.
Yeah, but they do really well there, and they haven't overrun the city or anything.
Well, also they're like symbolic of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The palm tree.
Yeah, you got it.
They're everywhere.
Okay, so I make a prediction by the year 250. I have a bunch of predictions here.
Okay, let's hear it.
And this is so that in 2050 you can say, Tyson, you had your head up your ass. Okay, I have no hesitation because I go through a whole set of predictions that all didn't come out right. People predicting 30 years ahead. And so I just want to join the susceptibility.
Okay,
parade
maybe you'll
here.
nail a few.
Neuroscience and our understanding of the human mind will become so advanced that mental illness will be cured, leaving psychologists and psychiatrists without jobs. In a shift that echoes the rapid conversion from horses to automobiles in the early 20th century, self-driving electric vehicles will fully replace all cars and trucks on the road. If you want to be nostalgic with your fancy combustion engine sports car, you can drive on specially designed tracks, akin to horse riding stables of today. Very nostalgic. The human space program will fully transition to a space